In this video today, we're talking all about Kirkwood, Missouri, what it's like to live here, what it looks like, and just stuff to do here and what you should know if you're moving to the area. Now, let me just say this. Kirkwood is absolutely beautiful. It is very charming. It has a very, historic feel to it in some parts, and it is an area with a lot of character, beautiful neighborhoods, beautiful downtown area, and a really great community. Now, I know if you watch my other videos, I know I say the same things a lot. It's a beautiful area, it's got a lot to offer, but I kind of mean that in a different way with every suburb of St. Louis. Now, what I mean with Kirkwood is that if you want a, charming small town feel with a walkable downtown area, Kirkwood's got that. If you want walkable neighborhoods, historic homes, lots of character and lots of charm, Kirkwood's got that. Now, if you prefer something newer built or updated that doesn't need as much maintenance, Kirkwood also has some of these infill neighborhoods and newer construction homes if that's more your style. And by far, the best part of Kirkwood is downtown Kirkwood. So this includes the historic downtown area, and overall, that's just the best part. It is super cute. It is fun to walk around, to go get lunch there, go out for a night there. So we're talking all about that in this video today. Hey, welcome back to the Living St. Louis channel. My name is Jacob if you're new here. So overall, Kirkwood is a very central suburb in St. Louis County. It's about 12 miles outside of downtown St. Louis. So if you're looking to be downtown in, a 15, 20-minute car ride, that's very doable in Kirkwood. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about the different neighborhoods you'll see in Kirkwood, different types of homes, and then I'm gonna explain more of downtown Kirkwood and stuff to do, as well as some new developments going on that you might be interested in if you're moving to the area. And here's a fun little thing about Kirkwood. It was actually ranked 36 out of 50 by a report in money.com as one of the top places to live in the United States. So Kirkwood is beautiful. It is a great place to live. And what I like about it is that it is a very charming area. It has a lot of character. Even though it is one of the bigger suburbs of St. Louis, there's about 30,000 people in Kirkwood. The downtown area, these really cute neighborhoods, it just has this kind of self-contained small town feel that's very unique for St. Louis County. Now, you will see very similar styles in Webster Groves, which is right next door. Webster is a little bit smaller than Kirkwood, but the neighborhoods, it's the same kind of aesthetic. Now, if you live in either one of these and you're watching this video, don't hate me. I know Kirkwood and Webster Groves are kind of rivals, if you will. But what I'm saying is that the aesthetic of some of these historic homes, I'm talking a lot of these Victorian style homes, some Tudor style, colonial homes that go back to the 1800s, you will see some of these historic neighborhoods in both Kirkwood and Webster that look very similar. Now, the other cool thing about Kirkwood that you'll want to know if you're interested in moving here, whether you're coming from out of state or you're moving here from somewhere else around St. Louis, is that it really has the full spectrum of different styles of homes and different price points. You have the very old and historic, and you have the brand new construction. You have homes that will go from, $1.5 million to $2.5 million on the high end. But then you have a lot of these very cute and charming homes on the smaller end that will go from $200,000, $300,000, $400,000. And if you're looking for a smaller condo or a townhome under $300,000, sometimes under $200,000 even, you'll find that in Kirkwood. And hey, by the way, if you're moving to Kirkwood or somewhere else in St. Louis, if you want help buying a house, selling a house, new construction, whatever that looks like for you, send us an email, send us a text, whatever you want. My group and I are practicing realtors. We'd love to help you. That's why we make these videos. Sometimes they're in the videos with me. Sometimes it's just myself. Totally up to you. No pressure. I hope these videos are helpful nonetheless, but we'd love to help you if you want. So if you hear people talk about downtown Kirkwood, it is pretty much the commercial area running along Kirkwood Road that goes pretty much through the middle of Kirkwood. Now, Kirkwood Road is also called Lindbergh Boulevard when you're not in Kirkwood. It goes by different names. This is where you have a bunch of these shops, restaurants, little boutiques, and then a lot of the neighborhoods surrounding downtown Kirkwood will have this, block system. You will see, these walkable neighborhoods, tree-lined sidewalks, and a lot of these homes that are on smaller lots if they're close to downtown Kirkwood. So you will see homes on some of these narrow lots that are not very wide, but they go back kind of deep. So with that, you will see homes that have a detached garage. So sometimes it'll be a rear entry garage where the driveway comes in the back, or it'll be like a front entry where the driveway goes past the house and then the garage is located in the back. And this is where you will see a mix of some of these historic homes. Some of them are registered as historic homes, so there are some limitations with what you can do and any modifications you want to make. A lot of these that go back to the 1800s, a lot of Victorian, Tudor, and colonial style homes. And then kind of mixed in with all of these historic homes, you'll see some of the infill of brand new construction or recently built custom homes. So if you're not as into the historic homes, you'll see some of these that are more like your modern farmhouse, your more up-to-date craftsman style home, or some of these newer colonial homes that have been recently built. The thing with some of this infill is that it just depends on the neighborhood. I mean, I know that some people who live in Kirkwood don't speak too highly of some of these cookie cutter homes going up and, you know, new construction on every other street in some of these neighborhoods. But it depends on where you go, because some of them you'll notice, you know, a street or two where, you know, you'll see 4 houses in a row that look pretty similar. And then other parts you'll see the newer homes that are just very custom and they don't really fit that cookie cutter style. And the rest are kind of blended in with the older historic homes. I mean, honestly, the cool thing about Kirkwood is that kind of like block by block, you will see different homes, different styles. And again, I would kind of compare the feel to Webster Groves. So Kirkwood and Webster are very similar to each other in terms of the aesthetic. They both have a cute little downtown area. Webster actually has 2 smaller downtowns and Kirkwood just has the big downtown Kirkwood. So that's one cool thing if you're looking around in St. Louis and just, you know, deciding between different areas. Kirkwood and Webster will be kind of similar to each other, but both unique compared to all the other parts of St. Louis. Now, if you go further west or further down south in Kirkwood, you will see a very different style. It starts to get way more woodsy. You will see kind of these winding streets, lots of trees, and a lot of homes that sit on bigger pieces of land, like multiple acre lots with trees in the backyard, a lot of them that back up to Powder Valley Conservation, which is down south. So you'll see lots of these more woodsy neighborhoods. And then on the western side of Kirkwood, west of 270, which sometimes people forget is still a part of Kirkwood, right next to Greenbrier Hills Country Club, you will see again more of these kind of woodsy neighborhoods that either back up to trees or they actually back up to the golf course of Greenbrier Hills. Now, Greenbrier Hills is actually kind of cut in half. So the northern part of it is in De Pere, and then the southern part of those neighborhoods is in Kirkwood. So if you want more of that woodsy feel, kind of like the neighborhoods you'll see in Wildwood, if you're looking further west, like lots of trees, bigger pieces of land, you'll see that around Powder Valley and towards the western side of Kirkwood. And then if you want more of that, not really urban feel, but more of that, you know, small town walkable feel, that's going to be closer to downtown Kirkwood. And if you're looking for more of a condo, an apartment, or a townhome, you will see a lot of those options close to the downtown part of Kirkwood. So there's a bunch of condominium associations and apartment complexes either right on Kirkwood Road or like 2 to 3 blocks away from Kirkwood Road, and you know, you're like a 5-minute walk to get to downtown Kirkwood if you're interested in any of those. Kirkwood does also have some recently built luxury condo buildings in the downtown area, which I'll talk about that more later on in this video because there are actually some more condo buildings being built. But the short version of it is if you're looking for a modern, you know, smaller condo building, floor to ceiling windows, luxury finishes, Kirkwood does have some of those. Now, let's talk about downtown Kirkwood because this is going to be your favorite part of living here if you choose to move to Kirkwood. Lindbergh turns into Kirkwood Road, and along Kirkwood Road, you will see these shops, these restaurants, boutiques. Some of them are like local family-owned businesses, and then some of them are bigger chains or franchised, you know, restaurants or drive-through places. Towards the historic part of downtown Kirkwood, that's where you'll see these historic buildings that have been very well preserved, local businesses. There's actually the train station right in the middle of downtown Kirkwood, and it's actually the 3rd busiest train station in Missouri outside of St. Louis and Kansas City. So the Amtrak goes right through there if you like traveling by train, you can get on and get off in downtown Kirkwood. If you're a big history buff, you can actually kind of do a walking tour of historic Kirkwood. They have a map on the website that has like 22 different stops on it, and some of them are things like the old post office, the old fire station, the library, city hall, and then there's actually a bunch of like residential homes that are on this tour. So they're privately owned, so you can't go inside them because that's someone's house, but there are a bunch of neighborhoods around downtown Kirkwood that have these preserved historic homes. So if you're interested in doing that, it is a fun way to just get to know Kirkwood. If you go on a little self-guided walk around town, and you'll see what I'm talking about with some of these historic buildings. It's very charming, and it's just kind of something that adds to the charm, the history, and just like the pride that people have for living in Kirkwood. It is a very nice part of town. Towards the center of downtown Kirkwood, you have kind of this big plaza, which is right across from the city hall. I mean, it's a really cool place. You'll see, live music performances. You'll see events and get-togethers going on. Speaking of, Kirkwood has this very charming community feel. So there's always something fun going on. Some of the events they're known for are things like the farmers market, tons of local vendors if you want to buy some produce, get local, like craft-made goods. Farmers market is a great place to do that. Kirkwood has the Cars and Guitars Festival, and the 4th of July is always a big deal in Kirkwood. I mean, they do a beautiful fireworks show. And there's also, other local events and small, happenings that are going on in Kirkwood. I mean, on a monthly basis, there's always something going on. And then the further down Kirkwood Road you go, once you get past Big Bend, that's where it starts to turn into more of the like big box stores, big commercial centers. That's where you're going to see Walmart, TJ Maxx, Target, Home Goods, Hobby Lobby, and then a bunch of these drive-through fast food chains along this part down south. So if you're out here driving around, you will definitely notice that change you see going from historic downtown to just big chain strip malls in Kirkwood. But hey, I mean, the good news is that Kirkwood has both. So you have that small town historic feel, but then if you want to live somewhere where you are very close to running errands, getting groceries, going shopping in, any of your big chain stores, you're going to have that in Kirkwood. Kirkwood Park is a few blocks west of the historic downtown area, and this is the biggest park in Kirkwood. It is beautiful if you want to go for a nice walk outside. They have walking trails. There's a little pond in there. There's also several tennis courts, baseball fields. There's the aquatic center, and they have the ice rink as well. So if you're looking for outdoor activities, Kirkwood Park is going to be your go-to because that's where you have all sorts of athletic facilities if you live in Kirkwood. Now, I want to talk a little bit about some new stuff happening in the downtown part of Kirkwood. So like I said earlier, there are some new developments coming up. So recently, Kirkwood changed a little bit of their zoning laws to allow for more density. So we're seeing some new proposals and new construction for some of these mixed-use developments, multifamily apartment complexes, condo buildings, mixed in with some retail, shopping, and office space. So there's actually a brand new apartment building being built right now. They're supposed to finish up sometime in early 2024 called The James. This is right on Kirkwood Road. It's about 150 units for apartments. And this is actually the first apartment building to be built in over 20 years in Kirkwood. The last one was Kirkwood Station. So this is going to be a brand new kind of luxury apartment building right next to downtown Kirkwood. And like I said, there are actually a couple of brand new luxury condo buildings, which are the Madison, the Barclay, and the Hutton. So these are three almost identical looking luxury condo buildings, like floor to ceiling windows, modern interiors. Pricing you'll see from the 700s and 800s up to like 1.2, 1.5 million for some of the larger penthouses. And these are actually like very, very similar to what is currently being built in Wild Horse Village out in Chesterfield. So there are 4 very similar condo buildings going up in Wild Horse Village that mimic the Hutton, the Barclay, and the Madison in Kirkwood. Now, there is currently a proposal for 2 buildings, but it's considered one condo association right across the street from the Kirkwood Performing Arts Center. So it's going to be right in the middle of downtown Kirkwood. The goal they're aiming for is to have kind of this mixed use arts district with the Performing Arts Center, a public plaza with shops and restaurants, in addition to these 2 condo buildings that will be modern finishes, glass facade, but right in the middle of everything going on in downtown Kirkwood. Now, that is just a proposal right now, but the pricing on those, according to the developer in the article that was published, will be pretty similar to the 3 other buildings. So like I said, absolutely beautiful neighborhoods with a huge range in terms of styles of homes, how big they are, and how expensive they are, depending on if you're looking at a house, a condo, townhome, or an apartment. Kirkwood has a ton of great stuff to offer. So hey, again, if you're moving to the area, I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one right here on the Living St. Louis channel. Take care.